Alright, so this is going to be a fuel planning tutorial. Help there. No, don't stop. Share, put it in general chat. Okay. Apps. Announcements. Simbrief tutorial. Post. Right then. Alright. So, let's talk about Simbrief. So we're in Simbrief here. We're in the dispatch area, right? Dispatch system. Excuse me. So I'm going to hit create new flight, right? And let's just, we'll come up with something here that I know we get a flight plan for. Let's just say JBU. 721, my favorite flight. KBOS to KPBI, right? Alternates, probably going to be MCO for this, just because JetBlue has more infrastructure there, right? And Miami's only 30 minutes south of PBI, so well, maybe an hour, tops. When you choose an alternate, you do not want to, why is it still loading? Suspect. When you choose an alternate, you don't want to choose something that's too close. So Lauderdale and Palm Beach are right next to each other. So there's no point in choosing Lauderdale as an alternate for Palm Beach. Matter of fact, I'd have to ask Jay, our resident pilot, but I don't even think you need an alternate on a flight that short. You might. I would assume you do. You always need somewhere to bail out to, but make sure it's not too close. So in this case, Palm Beach, Orlando MCO is close enough, or far enough away. Because if you're going up and down the coast, east coast of Florida, there it goes Palm Beach. You can go further north to Daytona even, but basically you've got Palm Beach, Lauderdale within spitting distance from each other if you were at 10,000 feet, and then Miami, spitting distance from Lauderdale. So, if you watched the stream this morning, you'd see that I'm set up over here on the right-hand selection side for a ETOPS flight, okay, with step climbs. So I'm just going to go ahead and look up today's flight 721, JBU 721. Oh. Right, and we'll take a look-see. Looks like it went inland here because of the storms today. So let me just go ahead and look. No, not that one. I want to see what's scheduled for tomorrow morning. It should be back to normal. Yep, it should be Wetro. Yep. Sox 5, Sox, Buzzard, Say, Sandy Point, Hampton, J174 to SWL, so Rifle should be in there. Geddick, MJ, Yazoo, Zizzy, Warren, CB, Wetro, Dixon, CeeLo. So we have that flight plan in our database, right? So let's talk about Simbrief. So we want 45 minutes. We have tested, right? We have tested the A320, A321, and E190 pretty extensively. The E190 is still, the jury's kind of out on the performance factor or the fuel factor, which is here. But we have saved in the A321 and A320 fuel factors. So I'm going to grab my airframe, which is going to be N558JB. Here she comes, right? We're going to do a Mach 0.80 cruise, right? And see that fuel factor comes up minus 15, right? I want 45 minutes reserve. I don't want ETOPS. I'm not going to plan step climbs. I'm just going to see what it's filed for here. Usually somewhere between 34 and 36. 36,000 feet. Right? So, right? I put in my flight info here. right? I grab my plane, right? Now if I put in the JT here, right, it's going to be the core A321, which can hold up to 200 passengers, right? Oh, sorry, that's the Mint. JT is Mint. JB is core, right? You'll see that it's a minus 22 factor, and I actually think I have to bump that to minus 23 because I'm still landing a little heavy. I might even try this tonight. I'll go Boston to Palm Beach in the 321 to give it a little whirl here. So let's just go with the A320 for now, right? So I select my A320. I've got my selections on the right-hand side set up, right? We don't need to plan step climbs. We're going to put in an altitude. Come down here. I want to go Mach 80 cruise, right? My climb profile is set 250 knots to 10,000, 300 above that, 0.78 until we reach cruising altitude. And then descent, same, slow to 0.78, 300 knots till 10,000 feet, 250 knots below 10,000 feet. Right, I'm going to come up down here, right? Scheduled time en route, it's usually 3 hours. 7:31 to 10:20, so 2 hours and 50 minutes or so. Right? Just about. Let's see what they did it yesterday as. 3:44 yesterday, but look at that route yesterday because of the weather. They did the Highland 5. Wow, look at that. That was all the storms that were coming up. You see they're broken up here today. Hell of a flight. That would have been an interesting one. Let's go back to like Saturday. 2 hours 45, right? There it is. Tijuana, that's not a JetBlue flight there, Livingston. I think that's you, Livingston, right? So pretty much the same route every time. Averages out to be 2.5 to 3 hours, right? So come back here, 3:15. Let's just say 3:10, right? Actually, we could even say, yeah, we'll say 3:10. That gives us a little cushion, right? 256, 249, 311, 248, 244. Yeah, we'll just say, let's say 3 hours. 3:05, right? We're not going to arrive on 14 in Palm Beach unless Metro can tell me otherwise. We'll arrive 10 left. No, I don't want to. The Fairway 5 automatically does go there, right? So, as you can see, the flight plan's in here. Routes analyzed. It's 1,114 nautical miles. Taxi out to 22, 15 minutes, give or take. We're going to put in the altitude here, 36000. Right? Alternates, MCO. Just analyze that route so it can show us where we need to go. Shoot up to MCO. I don't know if it gives me the time. Right? But that's it, right? I'm going to set now. One more thing I have to do is set up the weight. So Infinite Flight and Simbrief do not necessarily agree on how much a passenger weighs or anything else. But what we've done is we've set each aircraft to what it weighs in Infinite Flight. So if I open this aircraft editor, right? Let's just go take a look at our A320, okay? So if I go into Infinite Flight, right? Blah, 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 this stuff. The weights are the important stuff down here, right? So, operating empty weight in pounds, right? And I think that's even incorrect. 92,815, right? So you see it there. Let me put the touches on for you so you can see. Show touches. Okay. Resume. Weight and balance. Okay. The plane's completely empty, right? Nothing. We have nothing on it. And the operating empty weight is 92,815, right? There you go, 92,815. Now, we know that JetBlue is reconfiguring to 162 passengers, I believe. But for right now, since we can't get an updated livery, we're going to keep it at 155, which is what the JetBlue A320 holds, right? Infinite Flight, down here. We will set 155 passengers. Let go. I know that's really hard to do. Right? 155. That's kind of, this is irrelevant here. This max passengers. It's irrelevant, but it'll matter, right? So we know that's the max passenger take is this number in infinite flight, right? 26,332 is the max weight you can have for passengers, right? Now we want the maximum zero fuel weight of the craft in infinite flight, of the A320 JetBlue, right? So we just scroll that all the way up, and then we see 137,683. So I come down here, I got 137,718. Close enough for government. A little bit of fudging on the numbers here. I bet you I had it listed at 156. Let's see. 58, 7, 6, 5. Yep. One it is. Right? You can't help me with anything, Siri. 137. Missed it. It's just because infinite flight does that. Ah, there it is. Right? So the maximum zero fuel weight is 137,718. Right? That's max cargo, right? With no fuel. Okay? So let's just say, right? And then max takeoff right here. Right? 171,961. Max landing weight 146,607. It says the burn's 55.82 an hour, but that's not always correct. That's the estimated max fuel burn. I mean, you can get it up higher than that, lower than that. But what we want to do, right, and we've already tested so that we know the fuel factor is minus 15 in this aircraft. Unfortunately, you can't set this for Mach 8.0. That just gives you a cost index, right? So I'll close this, come back to Simbrief, right? And I'm going to take 122 passengers, right? Going down to Palm Beach, 122, right? And we'll lower up their cargo. Again, I always like to have a little bit less, right? So let's just get that to a nice even number. There we go. Let's go 130, 110, right? Maybe 131. There we go. 130, 302, right? So now, here's our zero fuel weight right here. 130,302. So, we go down in here. Zero fuel weight in Simbrief. Right? 130.3. 130.3. Right? That matter, or 302, that doesn't matter. It's close enough for government work. Even if it was 311, it would be okay. 350 would be, up to 350, I would be okay. Then I would say, if you had 351, I would say do it as 130.4, right? Do a little rounding, right? So my zero fuel weight's set, right? My taxi fuel is going to be 15 minutes. Terminal C down to 22. Actually, it's going to be 22 right for departure. Cancel. Right? Now, got all that stuff in there. Minus 15 fuel factor. Flight maps detailed. We've analyzed this route. We've analyzed our alternate route. The routes are valid. There are our routes. Okay? And I think there's still storms off the coast, to be honest with you. So, once that's done, you just double check everything. Your JetBlue 721, departing Boston, arriving Palm Beach, alternates MCO, right? 25th July, 2330 Zulu. We'll even say 26, I'll even say 2350 Zulu, right? And 558 JB, right? Mach 80 cruise. What did I say? I took this down to 305, didn't I? 305 en route. Analyze that route, right? We've got that, we've got that. We want 45 minutes reserve. We're not going to plan step climbs. We're not going to need ETOPS, right? We've set our zero fuel weight. Leave the passengers and cargo alone. Don't worry about that. What you got to do is set your number here, wherever you want it. You want an empty flight, that's fine. You want a heavy flight, that's fine. But pick this number with no fuel, right? And then punch it in, 130.3 for zero fuel. We're going to fly at 36,000 feet. Alternates MTO. Take a look here at significant weather real quick. Yeah, that's ugly. Isolated embedded cumulonimbus, flight level 400, flight level 4. It's ugly down there, huh? Metro, what's going on in Florida, bro? That is ugly. And it looks like there's a jet at flight level 370 coming out of this, so expect it to come right along down. I'm guessing they would maybe route further out. That's ugly up and down the coast there. So now what we'll do is we'll hit, once we've reviewed everything, we'll hit generate OFP. Okay. It's going to generate us up a briefing package. And I normally, I don't know what you guys use for setups, but I normally do all this Simbrief stuff. I do it on my phone. And then I have my stuff on my phone ready to go. All right, so this gives us a summary, right? And we know that the AIRAC cycle is out of date. So that says SOX 4. We'll fly the SOX 5 departure, right? JetBlue, 721, A320, call signs JBU 721. Boston, a PBI, alternates Orlando. Cruise 360, 25 July 2018. Depart 2350 Zulu. Air time's going to be 2 hours 47 minutes. The block time's 3 hours and 12 minutes. Block fuel is 21,334. Go up here to fuel, and I'm going to try to get as damn close to it as I possibly can. 21,334. All right. Beautiful. 21,389. Close enough for government work. Right? Again. It's going to tell me 21,344. Let's see what we get. So 336 would be okay. Right? You'd be 8 pounds under. I know this is really hard to do. There you go. So 21,336, right? I'll come back and let's take a look, and we'll go through the flight plan, right? So this is the most important page here. Well, the first and most important page. This is your load sheet, okay? So we're expected to burn 14.3 thousand pounds, right? For an air time of 2 hours and 47 minutes. Distance 1,120 miles. We need a 45-minute reserve. That's going to be 3,300 pounds. Dispatch is not adding anything. That would be contingency, by the way, or extra. It would take us 43 minutes and 3.4 to get to Orlando. That's probably with weather added. The minimum we can take off with is 21,000 pounds. Right, which gives us a flight time of endurance time of 4 hours and 15 minutes. Our taxi out is scheduled for 300 pounds and 15 minutes. Minimum block fuel is 21.3. No extra. Total is 21.3. What was it? 21,346. Go back and take a look. 334. Right. So look at that. We're actually ready. 21,336. So we're only 2 pounds over. So we got exactly what we need. And then when we land, minus the taxi in, which will be 200 or 300 pounds, right? It should be probably 6.4. So when you land at Palm Beach, right? Hi, Pixel Bits. How are you, bud? When you land at Palm Beach, you're looking for 6.7, give or take. It might be 6.3. It might be 6.89. But it's going to be right in that ballpark. And then once you taxi in, you know, you'll be looking at 6.4, 6.3, right? That perf factor, right, minus 15, if I subtracted that out or added that out to 0, you'd be landing, you'd be almost, we're overweight for landing now. We have 74% on here. Hello, Metro. How are you doing? Oh my God, look at this. Look at that angle. I just popped in here in Logan. Oh my God. Flare! Jesus. Dude landed on his nose wheel. Holy Christ. Oh, now he's... Oh. Please don't do this, guys. Oh my good God in heaven. Why would you land 13 left? Waypoint, K-Boss, and he just landed in New York? What the hell? How do you even get to grade 4 doing stuff like that? I'm sorry. I can't even. I can't. I can't. Fin Soup in an E190. JetBlue 1999. DC-8 LaGuardia. Wow, that was brutal. That was absolutely brutal. Wow, I'll put the pictures in the stream. Oh, wait, you guys should have been able to see that. Oh. Dude. Comment in the Slack if you saw that. All right, I'm going to say it right now. That, if I ever see a JetBlue pilot do that, just no. Not going to happen. No. We will put you into training. We will teach you how to not do that. That's the whole purpose of these streams. Back to where I was going here. I'm actually at JFK right now. So we saw that. I'm actually at JFK. So let's pop back over here. I can't get grade 4, but that guy can. Just because I don't fly enough. So, notice down here, right? We've got, 122 packs, but Simbrief's saying 136 with 6,205 in cargo. So, we just ignore this part, right? We already know that our zero fuel weight's 130.3, and when we add the total fuel of 21.3, we're going to get a taxi weight, right? Your taxi weight's going to be 151.604 or 634, right? But then you want to burn off the 300 pounds as you get to the runway. When you're lined up, you should be somewhere like 151, 350, and once you hit the throttles on the way down the runway, you'll be in good shape. And then we've got a planned landing weight of 136,969, which we're going to need for our performance, right? Our performance data, right? We need the takeoff weight and the landing weight for our performance data. So let's just take a quick look at that, right? So let me split this up here so that you guys can see it. I'll bring this down. No, not that one. I got a couple of Simbrief plans. Here we go. All right. So this link here is posted inside of the this link's posted in the aircraft info section on our Slack, right? So we got a planned takeoff 151.3, right? So we're going to do a flaps 1 takeoff. So 151.3. So I would take the V1 number for 136 and then the V2 for 150. I'll take the V1 number for 150,000 pounds, right? So you weight. So you take your weight. So we're going to be 151.3. So I'll take the 150 V1 and I'll put it in as 131 because you want to call V1 5 knots before. So you should be calling V1 at 136 because you're rolling down the runway. And then I'll take the 43.45, right? And then green dot speed, which is flaps up, is 218, right? So flaps 0 degrees at 218 knots at that weight. Now let's talk about the landing weight, right? 136,969. So let's call that 137. Let's go down here, right? So we got 136 or 138. So obviously, you can see kind of the way this goes. It jumps 2 knots between 136 and 138, so you're in a point there. So you're going to be 136,000 pounds on the landing, right? Oops. Almost 137,000. And you see that the VREF or VLS is 131, right? So I would go with 132 for that, right? And you check your load, So I set up my sim this way, right? Ground speed, ETE to destination, distance to next waypoint, ETE to next waypoint, load for on the ground, taxi and takeoff, fuel remaining, fuel used. Once I'm up in the air past 10,000 feet and I put the autopilot on, I will swap over to fuel flow and keep an eye on it. And basically you can take this number, say it was 5750 for instance, you divide that by 60, that gets you pounds per minute, and you can check your ETE to next, right? So say that was 5750 in the fuel flow, right? Just for giggles here. Say the fuel flow was 5750. I'm going to pull up my calculator. Right? So if I do 5750 divided by 60 is 95.83, right? So let's just take 96, right? Rounding up here, right? Very sketchy math. So 96, and say the ETE to the next waypoint was 19 minutes, right? Or 19 minutes and 45 seconds. So I would take that 96 pounds times 19.75, because it's some, 3/4 of a minute is 0.75. So that means I should burn 1,896 pounds roughly to my next waypoint, right? I hope you guys can follow that. I'll do it in the air if I do another flight stream here. So speaking of what we're supposed to have at waypoints, right? After I go over the rest of this landing here, right? So once I start descending, I will go back to airplane load to check that my weight's correct, so that I can go to my sheet here, which is the landing chart posted in Slack, and see what my low speed is going to be, right? So 136.9, so 137,000 pounds roughly. So let's say we'll take 132 as the VLS, which is the ref speed, VREF. You want to touch down at 132 knots, right? So that's for config full, right? VREF is VLS for config full. So you don't approach at that speed. You approach at the target speed of VAP, right? VAP is VLS, which is this number that we just said we'd take 132, right? Right in the middle of these two, right? 131 or 133. So let's take 132, right? Plus 5 knots, that's 137, plus 1/3 the headwind component. Let's see what the weather in Palm Beach is, and I'll show you how to do the headwind tailwind configuration. You can sometimes get takeoff data. So yeah, this is showing 22 right, flaps 1, 40, 43, 45. I think we had, what do we have? 151, 36, 43, 45. Close. So your VREF's still going to be, your V1 is still going to be 131 if you're using in-flight assistant. So Palm Beach weather, landing data. Let's see. 190 at 5. So let's just do this real quick. Headwind component calculator, right? Right here, right? So we know our runway heading for 10 left is 100 degrees. Oh, that's a flight level. I want the surface, right? Runway heading is 100 degrees. We got the wind 190 at, what was that again? 190 at 5. And this is going to give us 5 knots. Calculate. The crosswind is 5. The head tailwind is 0. So that means your VAP, your approach, should be flown at 132 plus 5. So you're going to approach at 137 at that weight, right? Now, say it was gusty. Say it was 190 at 15, right? Let me just give it. Say it was 160 at 15. There we go. Right? You'd have a 13 knot crosswind with an 8 knot headwind, right? You 190, you're pretty much straight crosswind, almost a tailwind, almost to the point where you'd want to land, I mean, it's 5 knots. You'd almost want to land on runway 28. Not quite enough. So, 8 divided by 3 is 2.6, so call it 3. So you'd go, take your weight, which is going to be 137, so 132 knots, right? Plus 5, plus 1/3 the headwind component, which we just figured out here, is 8 knots. So 132 plus 5 plus 2.6, so call it 3. So 132 plus 5 is 137 plus 3, 140, right? That's how you do that. Now, for your actual flight, you're going to be behind the fuel curve. Like, when you get to SOX here, it's going to be red, right? The fuel remaining, it's going to tell you, ETE to DES, it's going to be red. It's going to tell you you don't have enough fuel remaining, right? But as you get up to cruising altitude here, you're going to see these numbers start to catch up. So you'll probably have burned 2.0 or 3. It depends on how gentle you are with the climb. Metro, you remember this from your flight in the A340-600. The more gentle you are with your climb. Initial climb, 3,000 feet a minute, 3,300 probably, rotating. 1,500 feet, pull back the power, bring the nose down to 4 or 5 degrees, and let that speed build to 250, and then resume your climb at 22, 2,400 max till you get to 10,000 feet. Then you want to reduce it to 22 to 2,000, up to 20,000 feet. Then you want to reduce that climb. Once you're over 20,000, you want to take it back to 1,800 or so. Once you're up through 28,000, you take it down to like 12 to 1,500 feet per minute. And once you're over 30,000, you can just go 1,000 feet a minute until you hit your cruise altitude. If you do it that way, these numbers here, right, will match up. So fuel remain, total burn. So when we get to, say, Yazoo, right, here, Yazoo, we are supposed to have 16.2 remaining, and we're supposed to have burned 4.8. You may not catch up to it by that spot, but down the line here somewhere, probably around Warren or CB, you'll have caught up and you'll have 14.0 and 7.0. So I'll show you how to read that. So say we're coming along and we get to Jenks, this waypoint here, right? Coming along to Jenks. As we cross over Jenks, we're going to have 9,300 remaining and 11.7 burn. 9.3 will be here in the fuel remaining, and the 11.7 will be under the fuel used, right? Easy peasy. That's why it's set up this way. Oh, look, there's another JetBlue flight. Who is that? Anybody we know? Joker. That's me. Does it show how many violations I have? I don't know. Anyways. So with that being said, that's how you do Simbrief. right? Any questions, I will take them, either in the omelet chat here. Pixel bits, go away. That pretty much covers Simbrief for the A320. The 321 I'm still messing with. I might take it down to change your name. Not Metro, not you. Yeah, we all know who that was. That's my boy, Transport Hub. I see you over there, Swiss. Don't make me hit that button. Don't make me hit. My finger's getting closer to the button. Since when did you change your name? Any questions, I'll take them in the Slack. And I might actually do this flight tonight just to kind of fly through some thunderstorms, because that's always a good idea. It's actually illegal to do. But this is infinite flight, so who says we can't try it? Questions, I'll take them in the stream. If anybody wants to go to Palm Beach from Boston, I'm going to leave in about 15 minutes. All right, that covers that. Yeah, goodbye.